Yo, what's going on, Planet S.O.N family? It's your main man, JD. Thank you for tuning in. This is Drinks with JD.
Well, I didn't strive for that.
Okay.
And I still don't. It's just I feel like it is what it is. That's what it is. And not to be like, because I'm a humble person, but at the end of the day, you have to give yourself value and you have to understand and love yourself first. And like Biggie said, if you're not in this music thing to be the best, get out.
That's right.
Simple as that. So I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of talent in the city of Santa Ana. And where I'm from, there's a lot of talented artists, a lot of people that have, you know, a good track record and stuff like that. But I mean, I go based off what I see. I see the numbers, I see the features that I've worked with, I see the consistency and the dedication that I put into my music and representing my city. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, there's no other artist doing it like me in Santa Ana.
No.
That's the reason why I say that. And it's not to downplay anyone else or to diss anyone else, or it's just, I truly feel like I got the crown right there, because until I see other artists, I mean, there are other artists. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna say shout out to my boy Doughboy Tony.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Doughboy Tony. He's from Santa Ana, and he's definitely he's younger, but he's definitely killing the game.
Yeah.
And that kid will eventually be the king of Santa Ana.
No
you
doubt.
know? But I'm the king right now.
No doubt.
And
Or maybe it could be even a Mount Rushmore type of thing in Santa Ana,
Yeah.
where all y'all could have some shine
Hey
as well.
man,
you know?
I'm all for that, bro. And I do that more to motivate others, because I know that some people might feel some type of way, and it's gonna push them to go harder.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been doing this for so long, and in my city with the artists that I've worked with and the shows that I've been on, and you know, the amount of views and the recognition. There's really no one else right now in my city that can say that they have the same accolades. And I don't get the recognition for it. I do that myself. But to go back to the first part of your question, I never strived to be hood famous.
Okay.
My goals have always been mainstream. My goals have always been outside of my city. That's why I work with artists outside of California, and you know, I try to get out as much as possible, because I know that that's where the love is gonna come from. And strangers are going to put money in your pockets, not the people you grew up with.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, the people that you grew up with, they came from the same place you came, and sometimes they have a hard time understanding how you were able to do so much and they were not able to do as much as they wanted to. And to them, I tell them, I'm not better than you. It's not that. It's just, we all have the same 24 hours
Yes.
in a day. What do you do with those 24 hours versus what do I do with those 24 hours?
Exactly.
Because I have the same, I have bills.
Yes.
I have my children. You know, I have things that I have to take care of. And
you also have your dreams.
Yeah. And it's balance.
Yeah.
You know? So I think out of my city, I've been able to balance it better than anyone else. So therefore, I'm the king.
No doubt. That's what I'm talking about. No doubt. Now, after studying your music, I see how diverse you are. At times, for example, on your verse on Poison, you could say it's a little violent.
Yeah.
Right? But then on your verse on Butterfly, you know, you show a softer side.
Yeah.
So as an artist, is it harder to vocalize violence or to show your vulnerable side?
Definitely the vulnerability side is much difficult to get across. I mean, violence is everywhere.
Okay.
You know, violence is hip hop, you know, violence and drugs and sex and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's easy, you know, that's easy to write about, easy to, you know, when you're challenging yourself on a record to put a more vulnerable, I guess you could say softer side of you, it can get a little bit difficult. And I know that a lot of artists don't like to go there. I've challenged some artists, I won't say any names, but I've challenged artists to get on different records, and they've told me straight up, like, nah, that don't work for me. Like, I know what I'm doing, and it's working for me, and these are the type of records that I'm gonna keep doing.
Yeah.
Hey, my respects, by all means, do what you gotta do. But I like to be diverse, as you said, and on Poison, it's Poison is the name of the record. It says we're spitting poison.
Yes.
And it's very violent and very mainstream. But Butterfly was pretty artistic because shout out to Matty G.
For sure.
We came in together to kind of talk about something that was trending.
Yes.
So we started thinking toxic relationships.
Fair enough.
That's very trendy.
Yes.
The type of toxic relationships that people are in, the traumas and the stuff that they go through. And I was like, I think we need to give a voice to each side.
Yes.
So the whole concept of Butterfly was mostly focused on her, which was her going from a caterpillar, being in a toxic relationship, to finally breaking free and becoming this, beautiful butterfly that she was meant to be.
Yeah.
So when we talked about doing the record, I wanted to display a real side, but at the same time, still keeping it within what's trending. Because it's like, if you listen to the verse, it's me more kind of like, it's like my Usher Confessions type of verse. Like, I'm going to tell you how I feel, but I'm still going to defend me at the end of the day. So on that verse, it's kind of like, yeah, I understand that I got some things that I need to deal with. I talk about dealing with like demons and devilish ways and, not being the best man that I should be. But I also talk about what I did for my partner in that relationship, which is basically brought them from, I think the bar is like, you used to ride around in a Chevy, now you're in a Mercedes.
Yes.
So it's basically like saying, yeah, I might be toxic, I might act a fool sometimes, but at the end of the day, I do care about you. I do want to see you grow. I do want to see you succeed. And even though I might not always show it in the best ways, deep down inside, I still have that soft side. So it took a lot for me to like, not to write it, but like once I put it out, once I like recorded it, it took a lot for me to be like, you know what, I'm gonna put it out, because I was doubting it. I was like, I don't know, this is gonna show. I think it is a softer side. It's kind of like, it's a whole different Cash. It's not the Cash on Poison or Chitty Bang, or it's completely different. But a lot of kids like that song. Like, I try not to cuss, in that record, and like, I think it makes an impact on a lot of people to hear something that they can relate to, instead of just like, oh, my gun and my money and I'm smoking and my Gucci, and, that's, but I really enjoyed that record. So at the end of the day, I would say being more vulnerable, it takes a little bit more from you.
No doubt. So how important is it to you to show all your different sides in your music?
I think it's very important, and the reason why I do that is because it's like, it's a numbers game. I look at it like, to me, life is math and science. It's like, what do you got to do and how do you got to do it, right? So when I put music out, I think to myself, if I just stick to this type of record, there's only so much and so many people that I'm going to be able to reach. The more diverse records that I try to create and put out, the bigger the chances are of expanding my audience, having my music fall into the right ears or the right hands to really put me on a much bigger platform than I am already. So strategically, it's something that I always keep in mind, because another thing that I want to mention is I have an album. I haven't put it out, and I have an album, and that album has been ready for about a year and a half. And the original title, and it's still to this day, I haven't changed it, but I'm kind of contemplating, is Spanglish. So the reason why I went with Spanglish is because I strongly believe that in a few years, Spanglish is going to be a genre of its own. Where you're going to have artists that their whole thing is, I'm Spanglish. Like, I can rap in English and switch it to Spanish.
No, I see that.
Seamlessly, and that's going to catch the ears of a lot of people. So me being able to get on that early on is extremely important, because in a couple of years, when everybody's making that type of music, I'm gonna be like, bro, I've been making this music.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So yeah, it's extremely important when I'm putting things together on my album. I wanted it to be so diverse. Like I had an R&B record that I did, I had a reggaeton record that I did, the classic West Coast hip hop records. I had some corridos tumbados. You know what I mean? It's like just so many. I had an EDM track.
Wow.
I mean, the EDM track's probably not gonna come out, but that's just to say how many different genres I try to dabble in. So.
Yes, no doubt. That's what I'm talking about, man. Okay, man. So now, as a fan, right, who follows you on social media, you know, I see you working hard. You're literally nonstop, right? You do a bunch of interviews. You know, I see you in your shows, and now you're about to go on tour in, you know, different states. Now, as a hard worker in this chaotic world, right? What do you do to slow down? How do you find rest and peace?